Hey guys, George64 here, welcome to your weekly Nintendo news. So, a lot of stuff went on this week, going with Pokemon, Animal Crossing and Smash, as well as a load of other things. But let's start off today with Pokemon. So, last week at the Pokemon Presents, where we got a really cool announcement, they said they were going to have something announced this week. Turns out it was Pokemon Unite, which is an MMO, kind of like a League of Legends style Pokemon game made with Tencent. If you don't know, Tencent make those type of games quite a lot. They're massive Chinese company, and it's going to be great for that Chinese mobile phone audience. But the dislike ratio on YouTube is pretty bad, and unfortunately I can see where it's coming from to a point. Then again, I'm still really happy we're getting a new Pokemon Snap, but as we had a Pokemon Direct specifically for it, I think a lot of people were getting their hopes up for something else to be shown inside that one. Unfortunately there wasn't, and that's why the dislikes were happening. I think it could have come across better, especially in the West, with just the tweets, but there we are, that's what's happened, and we just have to accept it. I'm going to give it a shot though. I don't think it's that bad. I just think people got their hopes up too high. My only major issue, it's free to start, and I don't like those type of games. I'd rather just have a price to pay, get into the game and start playing. But yeah, we'll see. Obviously it's going to be a massive cash grab. It's going to make a ton of money, especially in places like China, where the Switch has just got out there recently. Not a ton of games on there unless you want to hack it, which is getting hard enough to do as it is. We'll get to that in a second. But yeah, so kind of a funny one. Also, the DLC dropped this week. Not too many people are talking about that, which is a bit weird. Maybe they are, maybe I'm not in the right circles for that. I do know people who are playing it and they're getting through it quite quick. So I didn't know if they're going to treat this more like a Pokemon Black and White 2. I guess they are, and they've broken it up a little bit more. It'll be interesting to see the sales numbers for that one. So we'll see what comes out of that. Maybe that's why we're not getting some extras like Let's Go this year. Most people were expecting Let's Go, then mainline, Let's Go, mainline, but I just don't know if it's maybe more of a 3-year cycle. We'll have to find out. But it'll be interesting to find the amount of people that stay on and pay for extra DLC in the Pokemon Sword and Shield world. I think we'll find out at some point, maybe at the next investors meeting. So when COVID started, everyone just wanted to buy consoles, and the Switch was a hot one, especially with Animal Crossing. And unfortunately, with the factories slowing down, but the sales going up for the Switches, there was a point where we were running out. And unfortunately, a lot of scalpers were buying them and selling them for crazy prices. But Nintendo's president, Shintaro Furukawa, has announced that they are going back to normal with production of the Switch, which is great news. It'll get rid of those scalpers, and hopefully there'll be more production coming out of those lines. So earlier on this week, we found out that Min Min is coming to Smash. We also found out how wicked Sakurai's home is and what kind of setup he's got. Fair play to him. I did cover this in the video before, so I'm not going to go too in depth, but the guy likes to play games, especially other people's consoles on a Nintendo Direct. Quite interesting. Clearly he's got some pull power there. I'm glad they went for Min Min, as she's quite unique, got a bit of character to her. I feel like Springman was a bit neutral. I actually think she looks really cool, especially with the way her arm can recover and also reach to the other side of the arena and knock someone out. That comes out on the 29th, so like next day or so. Really cool. Looking forward to playing that. I will be definitely getting back onto my Smash playing and playing a bunch more games, probably not online, as the online isn't that great. But unfortunately, that is the way Smash goes. Not great online. Unless you have good internet yourself, you can't always rely on everyone else's. So there's this weird screenshots going around showing 3DS and Wii U games on the Nintendo Switch eShop. So don't be fooled. John from Game Explain went to Twitter and explained it. Someone on their Discord posted a photo, and the way they do it is really easy. Go into your browser on your phone or computer, go to the eShop, which you can do that by the way, and then you go to 3DS or Wii U. Kind of find the games that you want, add them to your wish list, go to your Switch, get onto your wish list on there, go and click on your account, and you see all of those turn up in your wish list, even though you can't play them on your Switch. Kind of strange, maybe that's not supposed to happen, and it's getting a lot of people excited and then very disappointed. Also, I think John was mentioning about how I don't think 3D World will be $19.99. I don't think so either, so definitely please don't get your hopes up. That's either going to come as a package game or as a full priced. So obviously Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze was a full price. This game is going to be full priced. Star Wars Episode 1 Racer released this week. I was really excited for it. I was actually up until midnight. Obviously later I have a little kid, but I was up at midnight checking the eShop, constantly refreshing it, waiting for it, and it came out at like lunchtime the next day, which was kind of a bit frustrating, but there we are. I played a load of it. The sound is crazy, but they actually did patch that out really quickly. I think like a day or two later, they released the patch and fixed that, so that's really great to see. Great support. That game has got such good mechanics and good gameplay. I just wish they could do more with it. I wish it was more of a series and they continued it, because it's kind of like a Mario Kart of its own era. And it's just a shame that game never got the series it deserved. Clearly, people love it. There's a lot of people buying it right now and playing it. And there's people who's made like Unreal Engine remakes of of it, and it looks insane. Obviously, we're getting Squadrons this year, but that's not coming to Switch, obviously. But it's kind of exciting to play those kind of games. I like Star Wars, I like flying games like that, so I'm kind of looking forward to that. Anyway, it's not really Nintendo-wise, but I am looking forward to it. Let's move on. So, Baby Wario is returning, weirdly. He was originally from the Yoshi's Island DS game, and that's the last time we saw him, the first time we saw him. And he's coming to Dr. Mario World. Again, it's a bit strange that Nintendo are supporting their mobile games, constantly giving characters and new things for them to do, whereas games like, I don't know, Mario Kart 8 that I got in 2014, I guess it has had some stuff added to it, but that was like back then and maybe a little bit for the Switch version of it, but not tons has been added to it since 2014. It's sold so much, and anyway, we'll get to something in a second about mobile, but it's just a shame we haven't got that kind of support. I guess they must be making or planning to make a Mario Kart 9 at some point soon. Otherwise, we'd get more support, I guess, on Mario Kart 8. Anyway, I'm going a bit off track. Let's talk about how Nintendo are pulling out of mobile. So, Nintendo's president has mentioned they're starting to back away from mobile. They're not too impressed with the revenue they're making off those games. They cite games like Mario Kart Tour and Fire Emblem Heroes. So, I thought those games were making quite good money, but clearly not enough to make it justifiable, especially with Animal Crossing that came out that sold a bajillion. So, I know why they went into mobile, because at that point in the Wii U, they didn't know what was going to happen, which way or another. And it's gone the right way. It's gone down the Switch, and the Switch is selling really well. And I guess that's the point where they're just going to start backing up a little bit. I'm pretty sure they did buy DNA. I should have fact checked that, but I haven't. But by all means, fact check me and let me know in the comments. But I'm pretty sure they bought DNA. So we'll see what goes on with that thing. They might just move DNA to making games for the Switch. That's more than able to do. Or maybe they will still support the mobile market, just not the way they have been trying to, even though it was really slow, some of the releases. There was meant to be a Zelda-style game that never came out as well, obviously. So if you can't tell, I'm a massive Zelda fan, and I was kind of hoping for that mobile game just to come out, just to see what it was like. But at the same time, I'm not that bothered, because those mobile games, I played them for what, like an hour, maybe. I think Mario Kart Tour, like 2 races, and I just put it down and deleted it. Even though I was counting down the days just to play it, because I just want to play new Nintendo stuff, it just didn't catch me the same way it did, and clearly it's not catching everyone else. Though people were playing it, they're just not staying on. Just a real quick one here. Paper Mario had some stuff drop on Twitter the other day. It was a soundtrack for one of their battle themes. Apparently there's going to be a few. Let's have a few second sample now. So, really funky, upbeat, poppy. I might have to do some, I don't know if you can see, there's some drums here. I do drum stuff as well. But this is Nintendo here. We're not here to talk about drums. But yeah, I might have to play along with that at some point. Let's move on. Okay, so this stuff gets me really excited. A wild Yoshi was spotted in Japan at Super Nintendo World theme park being built. So yeah, I really can't wait for this place to be open. I will have to get there at some point, or maybe the American one. I always go to America, but clearly nowhere at the moment. So the reason why I bring this up is not just because I'm so excited to go there and see all of that kind of stuff. I just think it's really cool to see Mario reimagined in the real world. And just to see Yoshi plodding around, it's just really nice. That is going to be a really hot photo moment, just to get your photo where Yoshi passes by just at the right time. So yeah, I can't wait to go to that place. It looks really, really cool so far anyway. We have to see what the rides are like and the shops, but it's just going to be such a hot attraction. So yeah, I can't wait to go there and just see it all. I think Universal really needs this. Anyway, we're going a bit off topic here, but I do think Universal really would benefit from that Nintendo stuff, and I can't wait to see it all finished and what they do to it and build off it. So yeah, really exciting on that one. So Bloodstained Curse of the Moon 2 has just been announced. So this is really cool. So these are like the mini bite-sized games with like the 8-bit style, very limited color style games. They're really, really good. Compared to Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, it's a lot easier to develop and quicker to get them out. And I imagine the money they get from the Curse of the Moon games helps fund the next Ritual of the Night sequels. So it's really interesting to see. Great price, as I said, less than $15, probably £10 in the UK, and it's coming out really soon. So definitely try those ones out if you want like a small bite-sized Castlevania style game. They are really good, really fun, and especially the Curse of the Moon ones, they're really short and sweet. So yeah, less than 10 hours, so really fantastic little games. The Outer Worlds is getting a patch on Switch, which is kind of really needed. I don't know if you saw the original screenshots or any of the gameplay. It was very muddy, very unloaded, very worse than N64 at some points. So Virtuose ported that game to Switch. Virtuose is really great at porting games, but I think this one was a bit of a rush job. I don't think it's at Virtuose's fault. It's probably mostly at 2K and what's going on in the world right now with COVID. So it'll be interesting to see what the patches bring and what textures they bring back into the game. I never got it on Switch. I saw a lot of reviews. I was very tempted to play it. If the patch is good, I probably will get it. Though it is really nice to see a game get supported post-release, unlike a game like Ark Evolved. I know it got like a day one patch, but I don't know if they did much else with it. Again, fact check me on that one, but I'm pretty sure nothing actually happened from that, and it's just a really badly run game. I think the people who even ported it wanted to do more work on it, and they couldn't. Bravely Default enters its final stages of production. Now, this game isn't exactly my type of game, but I am interested to see how this game looks. I'm getting more into that JRPG stuff. I do enjoy a bit of Final Fantasy, especially like Final Fantasy 5 and 6. So I'm interested to see how this one turns out. I know a lot of people love the one on the 3DS, but I never got around to playing that one. Even though I've got a ton of 3DS games, I never got into Bravely Default. I am interested to see how it turns out though, and what it's like, so I will be keeping my eye on that one. So SpongeBob came out on Switch and it got really bad reviews. I think it got bad reviews all around. Again, this could be a whole COVID thing. I don't think TH Nordic are there to throw out games to die, especially an IP like SpongeBob's. On Metacritic, they're fighting the review scores with their own, kind of opposite to how The Last of Us was really well positively reviewed, but the fan base was, you know, throwing it down, even though a lot of people still really love The Last of Us. I'm desperate to play The Last of Us, but I'm going to wait until PS5 or PC release, I imagine, at some point, because I just don't want my PS4 to sound like a jet engine. So what happens when you get Tetris and Xenoblade? Well, you get the Xenoblade theme and Tetris 99, of course. So if you have the Nintendo Online membership, you get Tetris 99 completely free, apart from the extra stuff that you do offline. So with this theme, all you have to do is join in, play some games online, earn 100 points, and you get the theme for free. How cool is that? I think that's really cool because they're looking after both fan bases there with Tetris and Xenoblade. I know a lot of people are playing it who've been playing Xenoblade, and I know a lot of people who love Tetris are playing it just to play Tetris more. So about a month ago, Nintendo filed a cease and desist to a company reselling mod chips. Now they are filing a cease and desist to someone who's installing mod chips but buying it from elsewhere. So you're not buying the mod chip from them, but you are technically. I'm not going to pretend like I know tons about it. I don't bother modding my consoles, but I just know don't mess with Nintendo, especially when the console is currently selling. I think later on it's a bit more free game. For right now, I think it's just a bit too messy. Clearly Nintendo ninjas are after anyone who does that. So it's probably not best to do it right now. And finally, Animal Crossing gets a massive update. Can't wait for this one. So you get to go swimming and diving, get to meet Pascal again, you get new DIYs, all that kind of stuff, and there's more. I did cover this in a previous video, so if you want to check that one out, jump on my channel by all means. I talked a lot about how that data mine a few months ago is all coming to fruition. It's really interesting to see. I can't wait for the other stuff to come out, so definitely check that one out. So Animal Crossing fans have hit this point in burnout, so this is kind of really well received news. As long as there's updates like this every so often, Nintendo is going to treat this game like a platform. So I don't know if you noticed, they mentioned free. That's going to happen for so long, and then it's going to be paid, obviously. They're going to make a load of money. And it will also be really good stuff, so I don't really care. I'll pay for anything for Animal Crossing. Anyway guys, I've been George64. That has been your weekly Nintendo news. I will see you